Ladies and gentlemen of both Facebook world and what's the other one with the play button? YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Blade Talk, where we just hang around and talk crap with other knife makers. At least today we have a topic. Let me introduce you to the guys. Yeah, we've got Mr. Jan Wahl in the top right corner. That one. No, crap. That one there. Left is right, right is left. We have got Mr. Alan Heineken Mitchell. I can't do this, man. Yeah, Stuart is pointing him out. And then we've got Mr. Stuart, the Red Roman Smith. Oh, the Red African. Sorry, it's not a Red Roman. All right, African, gentlemen. Yeah. Okay, so I did say each of you should prepare a joke. And then I happened to tell Stuart that I want this episode only to be a half an hour, and he said he's going to use that as his joke. So, dude, I've just taken that away from you, so I hope you have a second one.
I've got a funny one.
So, gentlemen, we're going to start this thing. We're going to kind of try to run with it, but I'm going to just throw a topic, and I'm going to let you guys talk, right? We're not going to do music. All right, so the main thing here is... talking about, and let me just get this on screen there, talking about maker tips, techniques, marketing, and then the lockdown blues and other crap. So pretty much anything that goes. Yeah, I know that Jan has got a freaking hell. Jan has got a fairly cool a tip that he wants to share with us in regards to getting bolsters to sit nice and flat. It's probably the only guy. Oh crap! The only guy that actually prepared anything. Yeah, Alan, did you?
Yeah. No, sorry.
See, yeah, okay. Right, so let's start with this. I'm going to open up the thing for comments. Yeah, we've already got 9 guys asking questions. Yeah, and then just I'll put them on screen so you guys can just have a look at them. And then ask, what time is it right now in South Africa? It is exactly 2 minutes past 5, brother. And there we see, this is the community just jumping in and answering the question because we're talking crap. And then in Australia, it's exactly 12. Dude.
It's 5 in the morning there.
Barely 11 a.m. Excellent, man. All right, Garth, how's it going, buddy? We've got Nick up here. How's it going? We've got Lindley in. The guys are just climbing in. All right, so let's get this party started, man. Peter, how's it going? Jack is in. How's it going, Jack? And then you've got Johan in as well. So let's do marketing. Jan. Now, I chatted with Jan earlier in the week. And well, it's actually earlier today, and he mentioned that he's got no time for doing internet marketing. Yeah.
Yes.
So what was your solution to this lot?
I basically approached a company who does marketing for me. I use DMS digital marketing. They go onto Facebook, Instagram, start doing all that, remake my website. I basically provide them with photos and video clips and so on, and they do it for me because I just don't have time. I'm a full-time dad, so I need to look after the kids, especially now with this lockdown. So there's really no time for me to do that as well. It's full-time as it is. So you're
managing to make knives part-time, is that it?
Basically, yes. I moved from full-time to part-time now again.
Excellent. All right, man. So, how long have you got? Have had this? Have had. Okay, so I just ran out of English. Let me just re-top up. How long have you had this company doing your social media for you, and what platforms are they covering?
About a month now. They're using Facebook, Instagram. They've a couple of websites they use. I haven't got a Twitter account yet, but I presume we're going to use that as well as we continue. Everything's on the beginning.
Instagram posts make a lot of sense.
Say again?
I said your Instagram posts make a lot of sense now because you were referring to yourself in the third person, which was a bit odd. So it makes sense now. Somebody else was doing it.
He's doing it for me. Yeah, it's not me going crazy. It's just,
Yeah.
I like referring to myself in the third person. I am the king of Dragon Whale, right?
there you go.
Well, so me and the other two guys on my head are agreeing. If you don't refer to yourself as in the third person during the entire course of this broadcast, then, well, there shall be a punishment. I don't know what it is yet, but there shall have to be a punishment. And
I think the
standing
best
by for at least an hour.
that's if I have an hour to work.
Can I ask a
social
question,
media.
Jan? What,
You're talking.
who are you using and how much is it costing you?
It's DMS digital marketing that I'm using. At this stage, we're still in trial and error and see, so I can't give you exact amounts what it's costing me now. But yeah, eventually there will be a package, and I can refer people to them to use it as well.
Okay, so you are currently their guinea pig.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. Because I've got a group of young guys who are starting out their marketing company. They've done marketing for a bunch of people. One of them happens to be my nephew, and they've got a lot of skill. I've seen their work, and I want to sign up with them. But and they're also, in the beginning, they want to start small and work our way up so that both they and me can make some money with correct marketing. And they're going to produce some cool YouTube videos for me. And they also go insofar as to control your Instagram. They control your YouTube. They control your Facebook. And they basically do all the work. All you have to do is make knives and take photographs, which I think is really cool. But
yes,
it's not cheap.
Yeah, it's expensive exercise. The figures one is talking about and so forth. But yeah, I mean, I'm the privileged position that we are testing it and seeing where it's going and if it works and what we do need to do to
you guys
get better results. Hey,
you're boring.
I thought Alan was walking out. He was bored already.
Yeah, exactly.
No. I'm paying
Not a
attention.
board meeting, buddy.
You see, I don't like the handing over the marketing thing to other people, only because I don't really do any marketing. But I don't. I've known mates that have done that, and they spent a lot of money on a monthly basis. And at the end of the day, they said we didn't really see anything for it, because I think at some point it loses the personality of who you are as a knife maker, and it becomes something that's generic sales fronting, which I don't think a lot of people cotton on to or really enjoy that much. So. I don't know so much. I wouldn't go that route just based on the conversations I've had with other people that have done it. You lose something in it.
My personal feel is that, well, it is you that you are selling. The product that you manufacture is just the end result of a story that you're telling. And if you think back, man, for the last 11 years, I've heard Master Smith, Kevin, and Heather Harvey hammering this into every single knife maker. You're not selling a knife, you're selling a story, you're selling a lifestyle, you're selling a smell, a feeling that is evoked by that piece that you're making. You are selling that personal connection between you and the piece that you created. And no one can do that for you. They can assist you in doing it, but you can't do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. That's just my...
An example of successful marketing is Alex Steele. Now, when Alec does his project builds, granted, it's not the crux of his business, making knives and swords. That's the entertainment part of his business. He actually has a shop now that he runs and all that. But because he's so popular, when he makes something, there's a queue of people on the internet waiting to buy that thing. Okay, and the result of that queue of people, when he auctions off, like I think the one sword went for, I don't know, was it like $4,000 or something?
No, I mean, if you just put in perspective, that stiletto that I went over there and we made the stiletto with Josh Smith and Will and Alec. My stilettos normally sell between $1,200 and $1,400 each. He sold that thing for 12.4, so $12,400 in 45 minutes. Yeah, but keep in mind,
Yeah, no, no. Yeah.
he is an entertainer, and he spent 7 years building that audience so that he
Yeah.
can actually market and sell to it.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying is he's built himself a personality. I mean, even Will now, he handmade that knife. Now he can sell that for far more because people want to be part of the process. People know Will; they want to be associated with him. Somebody wants to say, "I've got this knife that I've purchased. You can go on YouTube and watch this video." So you're increasing
the
the
difference
value of
between-
it, increasing the popularity.
The difference between what knife makers are doing and, for instance, what Alec and Will is doing. Will spends 3 hours per day live broadcasting via Instagram. 3 hours a day. He is engaging with his audience. And those guys, because he's talking to them, because he's the guys feel they're friends. Yeah. I mean, 3 nights ago, Friday night, Henning Wilkinson was having a huge chat with him. And I climbed in there and I just confused everyone, calling heat treatment tempering and tempering heat treatment and giving wrong advice on hand sanding and, do what I do.
Yeah.
But because of that personal connection he has with his audience, and if you guys know Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. I mean, that guy spent the first, I think it's 12 years of his working career answering every single direct message that he got. If he asked a question online with guys, he spent hours answering questions, engaging with the audience, and that's the big thing that, well, I'm personally not doing. So if it's on Instagram, if I get a comment, I'll just little heart it, unless someone asks me a direct question. Then I will get into it. And there's those guys that you connect on a personal level that are now the guys that are in the stream. You understand? It's not necessarily meaning that guy is going to buy a knife from me, but it might be that he's in a financial spot. He likes what I'm doing, and he reckons, hey, buddy, there we go, done.
I mean, doing that, just taking the time to stick up a camera and point at you while you're working and just talk to for me, usually it's no more than, I think the most I've ever had is 25 people on a stream, Yeah, and when the number jumps above 20, I'm like, ooh, exciting. And then
we are at 39 at the moment, man.
Say again?
We're at 39.
And
now celebrities are coming in. Philip, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Philip, how are you, my man?
And Philip, just on that point, right? He has just started a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I am proud to say that I was his first subscriber and his first comment.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Nice.
Dude, you rock it. He's currently building a little recording studio or video studio, editing studio, little recording. And it's him and his daughter that's doing that. Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to see that princess kick your ass, buddy, live. Yeah?
Yeah.
A rectal match. That's how you start the channel. Yeah.
So,
don't worry, I'll
know what Jan Wahl tip is for fitting bolsters.
Jan,
yes,
get this back on track. Right?
Okay. I've made a quick drawing. Yeah, I just want to see if you. Basically,
right.
You see, okay. Basically, when after flattening the bolster and your ricasso, when fitting it, you counter bore the in the inside of the bolster before you rivet the bolster to the blade. Then you get a nice flush with the bolster against the ricasso. That's a quick tip.
Excellent.
You understand?
Yeah. Now, strangely enough, when I did my first course with Kevin Harvey, when he was in Gold City, I made a full-tang knife with a bronze bolster and a blackwood handle. And he taught me how to do that. And now that you're pointing that out, I'm shocked that people don't do that. I had no idea that the vast majority of novice knife makers have no idea that you have to put that little chamfer in the top to help rivet your damn bolsters on.
Yeah, because
I never thought of telling anybody because that's how I thought it was done.
Yeah, I mean, you don't.
So how many of you guys actually, when you drill a hole, countersink the hole through the blade? When you drill a hole through your blade, I was taught as a rule, because a 90-degree angle, whether it's in a shoulder, in a tang transition, any 90-degree angle can potentially cause a stress fracture.
Yeah.
So every single hole I drill through my blade, I sham for the edge.
And I'm anal with it. I do as well.
Yeah, and
Even
I've lost my
to make the
students
handle
if they
lighter.
just drill a hole and just walk away from the drill and with not even looking like they're going to that countersink. I'm going, what the
Even
fuck?
when
Where you
it's all a
going,
big
dude? And I lose myself completely.
I
Alan,
just hear
dude, you
blah,
just
blah, 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 blah.
well,
Alan, go
You
on.
guys
What?
talk too fast.
Why did I suddenly switch places with Stuart? What happened there?
because I felt like playing
You're on the
little
What's your
stuff.
tip of the day, Alan?
Fair enough. Okay.
We like being in control. Fuck, we're all going to be hand sanding for an hour, it looks like.
Actually, it's hand tonight, so yeah.
All right, so Alan, when you drill through holes, when
Yeah.
you drill through holes, when you drill your tangs, do you counter the hole through the tank?
You know, I've got to say that I
They
don't. I'm
don't-
sorry, man. I don't want to make anyone irate. I don't want to upset anyone. But I don't, man. Really, I'm sorry. What I do is I say a little prayer over the blade, and I say, please don't break when someone needs to use it. So, and that's worked for me. So I've been happy with that. But I will champion those holes from now on, damn it. And I'll stop praying over my blade, and hopefully it'll be right. But it's never failed for me so far. So, it's been all right.
And we did say, look, all right, I'm going to move the topic again. This 48-hour dagger build-off, right? If you didn't realize this by now, that was one of the biggest. Sam, we're going to get to you now, man. That was one of the biggest marketing stunts we've done so far in the last 6-7 months. Yeah. So the guys that played with 51 knife makers competing or playing with all over the world. I've spoken to about 17 of them, and their knives are either already sold or reserved, or there is someone kind of negotiating the fact already. All right, which is the aim. We make the stuff to sell the stuff. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally, a project takes a day to happen, and here the audience had time to see how a world-class knife can be made within 48 hours. What really impressed me is the amount of new guys that came to the forefront. Guys that I think I read it on your timeline, Stuart, where someone mentioned, I can't remember who mentioned this. It might be someone else. It says, in the last 2 weeks since the 48-hour, well, in the last week since the 48-hour dagger build, there is at least 20 new guys that he didn't even know made knives.
Yeah.
Where 2 full-time makers just popped out of the book and blue. I didn't even know these guys existed, which is awesome. Which is absolutely awesome.
It's good to see someone start with like an entry level, blade as well, like a dagger, because you don't want to start with something really complicated, because that could just make you lose
daggers are really
courage.
easy. If they'd made a hunting knife, there would have been serious issues. Yeah.
Yeah, there could have been problems. Someone may have said, this is way too difficult. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm giving up knife making. But they took on a simple symmetrical dagger. I mean, hologram symmetrical. It's walk in the park.
What can it be, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can do that. And then the guys came off of the 48-hour dagger build in a nice hype. Woo! Because as far as I know, there's only 2 guys that kind of officially didn't make it. Both ran into some serious issues, and but anyway, we're but let's call it 90% of everyone completed the challenge, which was brilliant, and I'm proud for everyone putting themselves out there and doing this. Yeah, it is absolutely brilliant. Some of these guys have never haven't even done. Sorry, Stu?
I said, except for me, I have to remake my handle.
No, but you finished the knife. You finished the challenge. The fact that you said, you know what? I am not happy with the standard here. I'm going to redo it. Dude, I take my hat off to you. Seriously.
Yeah.
And that's going to lead us into a new thing. How often we as full-time professional makers actually fuck up. Yeah. But the other thing I want to lead into is these guys hyped up so much that they're now doing a 5-day sword build. And I said, no, I'm not hosting this. Madness.
Jacques Mongus has underestimated his mathematical abilities. He said Monday midday to Friday midday, which is actually 4 days, not 5 days.
Well, that's easier then.
Well, I had a guy phoned me this today, and he said, "How do I plan this?" I'm saying, "Well, if they give you 5 days, make sure you can do it in 4, because you're going to fuck up. This stuff is going to happen. Right? Make sure you've got a quench tank that's long enough." And he goes, yeah, he's building the quench tank tomorrow. I'm going, cool. Have you got a forge that's big enough? Yes, him and a mate is actually sharing a workshop, and they've now fabric cobbled the 2 forges together. And I said, well, have you lit them? And he goes, no. And I said, well, light them and then let me know. Just stick a piece of mild steel bar in there and see where the cold spot is. And they couldn't light them.
Yeah, because the flames keep blowing each other out.
Yes.
Ask me how I know.
Yeah, so that's a bit of an issue. And they thought it was a simple thing. Another thing was, I'm going to ask them, look, what's the shortest blade you're making? No, they're both making katanas, which is cool. I don't think that is actually doable above a rapier. This guy down here actually made a rapier. Yeah, my balls haven't grown that big. Right. So Alan, and I think I had the honor of holding on to it, and he was cocking on me when he's fluting the handle and blah, blah. No, that wasn't on the rapier, was it?
That was on a sword cane.
Oh,
the sword cane.
Dude, that was brilliant. So if you don't know Mr. Alan Mitchell, go and follow him, click on his name, and go and check what he does. He's a freaking brilliant maker. And by the way, I never mentioned this. You realize that everyone in this live stream at the moment is South African. No, Knife Makers Guild of Southern Africa members. That's the first time we've had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay,
and we'll also have
we
the
should
treasurer in the house. The guild treasurer.
Yeah.
No, I'm not treasurer. I'm secretary. They wouldn't let me take the money. They gave me access to the bank account, but they said we'll keep an eye on you for a couple of years. Okay, you can be the secretary.
Sorry, man. He's the secretary. So we're going to get into a short thing. All I want to do is you guys just take 20 seconds and tell the guys, how long have you been doing this? What is your official status as a knife maker, whether it be full-time or part-time? And then what qualifications, I know that there's no official qualification, what institutions, professional institutions, do you belong to, if any? All right.
Okay.
Jan, you want to start this off?
Choose someone. Stick him on the screen.
Okay, so I'm going to put Jan on the spot. He was looking like he was falling asleep there.
Yeah.
So, Jan, right.
No,
how long have you been making knives?
No, full time is about 11 years now. Part time, about 20 years when I've been making knives. Well, my diploma, I have a diploma in medical orthotics prosthetics. I have a professional hunter certificate. Didn't really do it, but I did do the course and everything. I have a diploma in Photoshop. Yeah, it's about what I have. And
what institutions do you belong to? Do you belong to what? Any knife clubs that you belong to?
No, it's not. It's just a guild, just a knife makers. Just a guild, not any small
guild.
Yeah, just a guild. Yeah, yes.
See how he stopped himself and small knife clubs.
What? Yeah, we don't really have it here. We are so freaking small.
Yeah, so where in the world are you? You're in Secunda.
Yeah, I'm in Secunda, the smelly town, where they
and that is
fuel for the country.
So where in the planet? So you're on the African continent.
Yeah, in South Africa, the province Mpumalanga. It's about 2 hours drive from Joburg, Pretoria, depending where you go from. What's so funny, Stuart?
Okay, but anyway, right. So you're a full-time maker. You've been doing this for since the Dead Sea just had a smart little corona cough, and is now dead. So forever and a day. All right. So the advice on tapering a little bolster and tang, although your sketch was not tapered on the tang, the guy should really take that serious. Yeah, because that is obviously a tip that you're using.
Oh yes, I use it every day when I make.
When you actually make knives, but you're now.
Yeah, when I actually make knives and not running after 2 little ones.
Okay, so
what I use.
Yeah, a question for you for marketing is: what is the most important? Instagram, Facebook, website. What do you think?
Who's the question for me? Sorry, couldn't hear.
Yeah. There you go. It's on the screen.
Ah, here we go. I think it's a combination of everything. I can't point one out that stands out for me.
So you reckon it's a bit of everything? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to leave that one on there. So Alan, what's your take on this? What is the most important Facebook website?
Well, Alan Mitchell would like to say that, being quite a private person, I'm not like someone who throws myself into those things. So I did Facebook for a while, and it was like, no. And then I did Instagram. Instagram was a lot of fun, and then I posted things, and then I decided that I can't take myself that seriously. I was taking myself in the third person when I was posting things on Instagram.
I know,
Alan
dude. It was
Mitchell made this nice design, and wow, it's wonderful. And I thought, no, hang on a second, that's not me. I can't take myself that seriously. And then I started making jokes. And then recording an Instagram thing it's just fun. Like if I get 10 views, 20 views, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's just fun. So
and you've even tried to bring your cat in there to boost the videos going viral. I've seen that. How did that work out for you?
When you follow,
excellent.
I'm happy with it. It yeah, maybe I get 10 cats next time.
The best thing about Alan's videos is that he does them with such a deadpan face and deadpan accent, South African accent. It's just so freaking hilarious. And even when he was being serious, he was funny as hell.
And then now we've got Jack saying that Jan beat him into the guild. Did you beat up Jack Connon to join the guild?
What can I say? What can I say?
Here I introduced you the classic one in the group, right? The really soft-spoken one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys the previous Blade Talk, the guy that I mentioned that fell asleep with his spoon halfway to his mouth. That's my mate, Jan Wahl.
Yeah, well, we've been awake for how many hours have we been awake?
Hours, yeah. Stuart, I'm going to put you on the spot, buddy. What do you think about the website marketing thing? So what is the most important?
I'm inclined to agree with Jan. It's definitely a combination of all three. Because if you just focus on Facebook, if you don't know how to use it properly, it's a dead medium to try and sell things on Facebook. I do a couple of sales through my fan page on Facebook, but not a hell of a lot. And I use it in tandem with Instagram, where I get a few sales. And I don't actually have a functional website right now, but it's through mostly just those two social media mediums. I also have a private WhatsApp group for people who want to see what I'm doing. And I've gotten a few orders from there. But just to nail one particular medium down is unreasonable, I think. I think you need to explore all the options and use them all, because why drive a Ferrari if you're going to put all four tires on it,
I like that analogy. I do like that. Although Ferraris won't work for me out on the farm, buddy. Unless it's the 4x4 version. Yeah. But then I'd much rather go for a, I don't know.
Here's a good analogy.
Early 40s beaten up old truck with a proper freaking American style V8 in there. Big ass tires.
There you go.
And it doesn't necessarily have to have brakes. I don't really care about that.
I'm going to get my earphones because minor birds are making a noise again.
All right, so Alan, I know for a fact. I keep on pushing the wrong button. Sorry, man. I know for a fact that I've gone onto your website and there's a brilliant one knife on there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's a good knife, buddy. Yeah, I would suggest adding detail. and you run a marketing company, don't you?
No, software development. So I know I can go and redo the thing and blah blah blah, but I'm not. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm actually a very private person, and it's a conundrum that I haven't solved. As a private person, how do I market myself on the internet via social media?
Dude, what you have going on Instagram is absolutely phenomenal. Seriously,
yeah, It's got a hell of a
really
following
is.
on Instagram.
I mean, even my wife, I showed her the one video and she went and followed Alan. Tick, that's it. Done. And my wife doesn't follow anyone. Seriously.
So I want to know, what tips does Alan Mitchell have for us today?
Excellent.
So glad you asked. I actually have a tip. Hang on a second. Prepare yourself.
Wait. Oh, he's going to be funny.
No, it's not. No. This is not funny. Yeah. Done. And a glass. Hang on a second. Let me roll back. So this is actually full of acetone.
Yeah.
I didn't drink the gin, and this is what I use to actually pour it into, because you know when you're working with a knife or something and you get glue on your fingers when you're doing the glue up, when you've got whatever on your fingers, it makes it so much easier if you can just decant from a small gin bottle which has got a cork in it that stops it from evaporating into some wide-brimmed kind of glass receptacle, so you can clean your hands, you can dip bolsters in there. It just makes it a much cleaner solution to me than pouring acetone out of a 5-liter bottle and then putting it on a rag and then using that to clean your hands. That's my tip, man.
I hear what you're saying, and I like that idea, but I'm going to try it with the gin.
Or just drink the gin while your hand's glued to your knife.
In there and do what everybody is telling you not to do, and you can.
So what you do is you go to one of those second-hand, like a Cash Crusaders, and you buy something like this. This is like it's like the coolest thing, and every time I use it, I'm always thinking, no. It's not gin, Adam.
All you now need to do is get another bottle of that gin, right? Remove the label from the acetone one. You know which one is the real stuff.
Yeah.
And you can start off with the gin. So as soon as your hands get dirty, then you can top it up with acetone. But then you need to remember not to drink it.
Be careful, man. Yeah.
Who the hell's dog's barking like that?
All right, so Stuart, have you got another joke? It is joke of the day time.
Oh,
It's a joke of the day. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in two minds whether to do a long joke or short joke, but I'm going to go for the. I'm going to go for one of my favorite jokes. I don't know if my jokes are too sophisticated for some people, but I think we're old enough to appreciate the funniness of some of these things. I'll do a simple one. I won't do a long one. I'll save a long one for next time. We do a knock joke. So who's going to answer?
I will.
You will. Okay. So this is the Gestapo. Okay. You know who the Gestapo are? Yes, we all know who these people are.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Gestapo knock joke. Okay. Knock.
Who's there?
Shut up! If we ask the questions.
I like it.
This wasn't as bad as my dad joke. John, what was the knock joke I was trying to teach you earlier?
yeah, I forget already again. Was it some spaceship somewhere?
So you've ruined the punchline.
Knock.
Who's there?
Hello.
No bell.
No bell who?
I said knock because you have no bell.
Ah, groan. That's such a dad joke.
That is a dad joke. That's like a dad joke. I'm going to tell the kids later. They're going to love it.
Okay, so I've got one more for you.
Comment here. Okay, shoot.
Neil, okay, I'll do it to Alan. Alan, you have to answer. This is the Irish knock joke. You start.
Okay. Knock.
You start. Who's there? Nailed it. Thank you. Successful joke executed.
I say you should have prepared me for that one.
Eric else is saying that he's just irritating the hell out of people on Facebook, and they just buy to shut him up, which I like. I like that. I've tried that tactic. I can say from personal experience, it works. Buddy. Just carry on. It works. But I want to get back to that. A website, unless you're selling, unless you've got a commerce engine in there, in other words, unless you're actually moving product, should be the de facto. Oh, we got some serious feedback. Hold on. I'm just going through muting mics at the moment. Okay, Stuart, the problem is on your side. So
what is it?
Have some serious feedback, man.
Your
mine is.
Sorry.
I think there's a bird in your beard.
How about this? No, if I don't have the mic in, I can't freaking hear anything.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Luke.
Luke.
Luke, I am your father.
No.
The marketing portfolio. That's where you've got all these photos, professional photos that guys have taken, and that's one place where you can send a client to. So in other words, whatever marketing campaign you're running is to get the phone ringing, right? To get the orders running. But if a guy is on the fence and he wants to see what you've done in the past, that's where you send it. So I believe a website is important. It doesn't have to be the world's best website. I mean, it can just be your name, Alan Mitchell, with a knife. I would suggest just adding a contact number on there.
Or another knife.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to because it's a good knife. Tell people, hey, this is I make, right? You either buy one or you don't want to buy one. There's going to be a problem if that guy wants that knife and you only made one.
But
and then you say, hey, I can get a knife like that one, but it's not going to be the same. And then you can make anything.
So that's the other question I had over here, though, is if you went around and we just went like this, hang on a second, no way, or the other way. In terms of knives, on average, you make every single year. Like, what is like an order of magnitude? 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 50 to 100? Like, I make sub 10 knives, maybe 50 knives a year. Stu, how many a year on average?
Look, if you include the batches of pucos that I do mixed with the custom knives, I reckon maybe 150 at the most a year.
Jan, how many?
Yeah, I'm about the same, maybe a little bit more, about 200 with me average per year. Depending what I do that year. I've seen some years you make way more like biltong knives and hunting knives, and then obviously the numbers are higher. Other years you tend to do more art knives, and it's a bit lower, but we can work between 150 to 200 knives a year, give or take.
Holy crap. Okay, so when I still did production blades, we averaged...
No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Yeah, between 1,000 and 1,800 knives a year. But then we only did 4 runs of 6 weeks each. Yeah, so the rest of the time we were just partying around doing farm stuff. Now that I am full-time focusing only on the high-end stuff, I've done 3 blades so far for the year since the beginning of the lockdown, which is when my year starts, because I've now decided that this is Niels van der Berg only. Black Dragon Forge takes a small, a large step back. The logo is still there, and we might still produce.
Produce what?
No. We will now produce a blade specifically for companies, other companies that ask me to put their logo on the blade. That I will still do. Yeah.
Good deal.
But no longer. So I don't know. It's difficult to answer. So I'm suspecting that taking 24, maybe 30 blades a year. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but you're focusing on more on high-end stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is that changes your marketing focus. So if you are doing the 1,000 knives a year, you have to have a website with all your models and your purchase process, and the entire sales platform runs from that because it's an electronic digital brochure. If Niels is now making 20 knives, then social media becomes really important, more so than a website, because now when he posts a knife and he's showing how it's being made, people are being drawn along that adventure, and they get bought into it, and they take a liking towards his personality, and then they buy it. So you and Jan are in that weird spot where you're not generating the 1,000 knives a knife, and you're not generating the 20 knives a knife. You're doing 200 knives a knife. So your marketing platform would be a complete mix of everything, though, and it would have to be like that, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I think that's why you decided to go on letting someone else at least set that up for you and run it for a while and then make a decision on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing I would point out is that third person, speaking about a third person, they need to adapt your personality and do the post on your behalf as it was you.
That third person commentary is a bit weird. It's like Jan Wahl knives. The great knives by Jan Wahl, and then Jan Wahl likes his own post,
if I got someone to do that, this is what it would sound like. It'd be like this. Buy Alan's knives. They're really cool. You'll love them. They're really... I would just be speaking out my ass. No one would actually buy into it and believe it. They would go, that's Alan's ass. That's not Alan. So can't wait for me.
I always knew you talk shit, man.
Okay, you win.
My point.
We can stop now. Okay, so I just want to do Mervin asked a question. Implications of putting the blade through the heat treatment process twice.
I think if you normalize correctly after your first heat treatment, then it shouldn't be a problem. And I've done that many times and it's worked fine.
I agree with Stu. Every time I see someone do the normalizing, heat treat, doesn't show up, it doesn't harden, then they stick it back into another heat treat, I always think, no, your grain growth has gone, just, you don't even know what's going on in there anymore. No, normalize and redo.
Jan Wahl, if it was stainless, what do you recommend?
Yeah, I'll do the same. Just to
break it, throw it away and start again.
Yeah, depending how cheap it is. But yeah, now one will
So it's only damage steel.
Yeah, it's only dumber, you know, it's $5,000. What? Who cares?
Okay, so the consensus here, and I do agree, is every time you go back into the quench, then you need to normalize. All right, but now this brings up a question. Triple quenches. I've done it. Stuart, I know for a fact you've done it. Alan, have you done triple quenches before?
Yeah, with cryogenic cycling afterwards. So yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Okay, so but in triple quenching, you're not normalizing in between the quenches.
No, because that's redundant then. Because every time you quench, the grain. Okay, sorry. So I correct myself, if I may. I correct myself. You quench once, you stick it back in the fire. Essentially, you are normalizing once again, but the quenches refine the grain very slightly, and this is where the belief that multiple quenches refines the grain and makes a tougher blade. However, for all the knives that are sold to customers, the ones that have been triple quenched and the ones that have received a single quench, nobody's told me that one performs better than the other. So I've stopped the triple quenching because it just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, but if you can get that triple quench exactly on the same spot every time, dude, the hamon you can get. Even
yeah, okay. Now you're talking about an interrupted quench, Niels. You're talking about interrupted quench. No, it's not quite the same.
No, triple quench. So quench first, quench second, quench third. If you can get your quench depth exactly the same depth by using a stop plate, when you got a stop plate, dude, man, you get perfect straight and perfect highly refined hamon.
Yeah, and that's after reheating between each.
Yeah. But it is also because of what you mentioned is done correctly. You will every single quench will have a grain refinement result. Yeah, result in grain refinement. Now, what we do need to just mention here: a triple quench does not make a harder blade. You are more likely to fuck up doing a triple quench because number one, face it, it's the first time you're doing it. Rather speak to someone that has done it, and if they have done it, they will tell you to not do it. Don't risk it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the reason I don't do it anymore, because I'm not Wayne Goddard. And I'm not Ed Fowler. Sorry, I'm not Ed Fowler.
Yeah,
I haven't spent years and years and years with metallurgists researching this particular technique. And I'm just Stuart Smith, who takes the best ball bearings that are available to me, draw them out, and that have been tested. Otherwise, I don't buy them. I get them from Neil. So if they shit, it's his fault. Okay.
Thanks, buddy. Thinking about yourself as a third person again.
But I ensure that my thermocycling is correct, because that's the most important thing, especially with the 52-100, which is what everybody likes the triple quench for. Okay. So your thermocycling has to be on point. So you've got to do a reducing thermocycle from hot, medium, and to lower, all still non-magnetic and at critical temperature, just below critical temperature. Only then can you harden the blade, because that thermocycling is what gives you your grain refinement. So then you're going to take that, you're going to quench it, you're going to have a nice, crisp, perfect grain structure, and you're going to stick it in the fire, and then you're going to do something wrong. It's going to be 10 degrees higher. Your oil is now too hot. All the conditions have changed. And you're going to do that again, and you, like Neil said, you're going to fuck it up. So just do it once.
Don't fuck up. So Mervyn,
Exactly.
with normalization in between cycles, man, it can be done. You can reheat that thing 5 million times. Rikus is asking, what is your advice on getting your knife more popular and sell more? Don't sell knives, sell yourself. It is easy as that.
Yeah.
If you've got a question on how to do that, just look at the 4 guys on the street. Yeah, we're not selling knives; we're selling ourselves. Done. I tried selling my body. One guy actually
nobody wanted it. They paid you to go away.
All right, man. We've got another. How's it going, chaps? So if you've got a question, like the little scrolly thing, I'm going to kill it because it really irritates me. But if you have a question, feel not you, damn it, the guys watching. If anyone watching have a question, then feel free to ask. Okay, so Alan, hollow grind or flat grind?
Alan.
Flat.
Ellen will go flat all day long.
No, I missed that. Now you have to say it again.
No, Alan.
Flat.
Alan.
Flat.
Alan.
Steve.
Steve.
Stop.
That's Niels' favorite pet hate.
And Steve Schwarzer. Steve will just out of the blue send me a message with him saying, Alan. That's funny though. And I enjoy it. I appreciate it, man.
No, he's allowed. I think he's allowed.
Someone call their name.
So
it's supposed to be your wife, though.
And we'll leave it there.
Under the ear. Okay, so we've got apparently another 13 minutes, and then it's an hour that we've been live on the estimated 30 minutes.
I told you.
Jan, this is not a simple question, but I would like the most simplistic answer, if at all possible.
Yes.
Good. I'm going to ask you to keep quiet, and then Alan, fill in the gaps or agree or not agree. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mute your mic.
Jeepers, look how quiet it is over here now. This is fantastic.
Now I can hear myself.
Okay, so here we go. Jan, Alan.
Yes.
Jan goes first, and then Alan. How do you set the price on your knife? You've made a knife. You've got it in your hands, and you're wondering, what should I sell this for?
Okay. What I basically do, I'll take all the materials that I've used, and not just the steel and wood and pins. I go and work out the belts. What now?
The amount of wine that you drink while chatting with your mates.
All that. I mean, all the things you use that people don't think. Your mask that you need to buy, your glasses, all the running costs on the shop, the electricity, all that stuff. And I'll take a specific that model, and I'll say, okay, this is the materials, and I work out literally with every little thing. This is 50 cents for the pin, so much for that, so much for that. And then you get the materials you've used, and then I'll basically double the amount on that knife. That's for a standard production type knife. If I go to art knives, then I work hourly. I'll work an hourly rate. Say, listen, I want to work, say, at 200 hours an hour, and I work it out according to that on that knife. In short.
Okay. Thank you. Alan, what's your take on this? How do you price your knives, dude?
I ask Stu. I take it up to Stu's house, and then I say, Stu, how much is this knife? But he's on mute at the moment, it's good.
That's why I'm on mute.
Can we mute Stu again, please? Please, Niels. So then I ask Stu, and then he said, wow, and he'll say, 2,000 rand. I go,
No.
Okay, good. I'm going to set it for 3,000 then.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens every time.
Yep. Anyway, and it works.
I've actually done that.
Never.
If I really like the guy's knife and I want to buy it, I lowball him on a price. And he goes, okay, here's the cash. I'll take the knife. Done. So, all right. So there is two completely different ways of pricing your knife. And I think we'll work that into every single episode. Now, myself and Stuart have talked at length on pricing knives. So that's why we're not adding any value at this point.
We don't do it anymore.
Okay, so, Jan, are you a late night guy or an early morning guy?
I was a late night guy until I had kids. Now I'm an early morning guy.
I like that. Alan, question for you, sir. What is the longest time you have spent to date on a single knife?
Probably about, I made a rapier. I started on, Alan Mitchell made a rapier. He started on Monday morning at 12 and he finished on Friday at noon. Okay, no, sorry. About 100 hours on a rapier. Yeah, maybe more.
How much?
Probably about
100
hours
hours.
on a rapier. Yeah, around there.
130 hours?
Yeah.
Actual work hours.
But you actually worked during that time.
Yeah, I was working.
Okay. No, 100 plus hours. That's good, man. That is freaking good.
Yeah.
And elapsed time over calendar, how many, like from when you started to you ended, round about how long was the calendar duration? In other words, was it months? Was it years? Was it?
No, it was months. It was like the challenge of making a sword is you've got to find someone who's got a kiln, because you really don't want to trust all the work you're going to put into it on a forge where you actually don't know if you can get it to the right temperature, and then you're going to get cold spots in it, and then when you do the temping, you cannot rely on. You've got to do it properly with temperature-controlled environments.
That's why you drive out to Henning's place or out to Heaven Forge, because they've got the nice long kiln, and you don't have to worry about uneven heating.
That's it. So so when I say 120 hours, I also I spent 3 hours driving to Kevin and Heather, and then I spent 3 hours driving back. That is time that goes into it. And Jan was saying,
of course,
that you've got to build in all those little costs, and
I'm now at a point where okay, hold on. Exposure bucks. Okay, I've already
Okay.
The best way to get a Hammond on 5160.
To put it in the bin and use 1070.
Yes.
Yeah, that works. I've done that before. It worked very well for me, Stu. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a great technique. Tried and
The
tested.
least the steel is the 10 series steel. We're assuming, because the guys are now making their own 10 series steel and bringing in equivalent shit. But a 10 series steel dictates, for instance, 1075, that there is iron and carbon in that blade only.
Yeah.
And it's a simple steel, it's a shallow hardening steel, and therefore it's a bit more difficult to get a proper heat treat, but it shows a Hammond. Transition to the between martensite and perlite brilliantly. On 5160, which is a medium carbon spring steel, it is a complex steel as per the designation 5160.
Shallow hardening as well.
It is deep hardening.
Is it?
It
I
is
thought it was
complex
shallow.
steel.
I always get that confused.
Deep hardening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So deep
Okay.
hardening steel. Deep
What
hardening
he said.
steels, gives you a better heat treat all round. So, and 5160 is one of those magic steels. You really need to know your stuff in order to fuck it up. Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
now want to get a hum on 5160,
Give it to a
you
guy
need
that
to.
works with stainless.
But you,
Good idea. That'll work.
You can etch it on.
3 degrees, you need to be within 3 degrees of its heat treat temperature, which is not
Yeah.
non-magnetic. Okay, you need to be within 3 degrees from its heat treat temperature when you hit the oil, either up or down, below or above that heat treat temperature,
Yeah.
for it to show a vague hum. So if you're doing a half-assed heat treat, you don't really know what you're doing, you're sticking in the oil and you're getting this nice bright hum on 5160, I can tell you now that you're working with EN45 and not 5160.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, dude, it is possible. All right, speak to me and I'll explain to you exactly how to do this. You're only going to do a single quench, but you're not going to do a freehand quench. You're going to do what I call a rigged quench or assisted quench, where you take that blade, heat it up, put it down, you let go, and it stays there, and it cools down perfectly. And when you can touch it with your hand, then you theoretically will have a hum on. All right. I have done a double hum on, like a really nice, solid hum on, with a ghost hum on top of it on 5160. But
I think we've all done it accidentally.
Hey?
You know, we've done it accidentally. But if you asked us how we did it, we couldn't tell you.
It is possible to do a single one. Anthony is saying, use my spreadsheet on costing. There is a video on YouTube on exactly how I do that costing. But on production stuff, it's easy. You can work out the costing on a blade on paper when you're doing the design, if everything is known. Yeah? Okay, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes to cost it. And that's why I like Jan's. Here's something.
3 minutes. Then I've got to go cook dinner.
Here we go. We've got Real Monster asking a question. So, local or international, maker or non-maker, who worldwide or a single person in the world that inspires you? Alan.
Easy question, man. Easy answer. You know, it's always going to change, you know, from month to month, year to year. At the moment, the guy that I'm enjoying the most is a guy called Peter Johnson. He makes swords.
Yeah. Peter's doing some incredible work, man. Jan.
Unbelievable,
Yeah, it's the same for me. It changes, but I think the people who did get me started, I must say, Kevin Harvey and Heather Harvey, they were the heroes one looked up with when I started. So yeah.
Okay, Stu.
Locally, definitely Kevin. He's definitely a big influence on my work, and it's kind of obvious when you watch it. But internationally, Mike Quisenberry, man, does integral sub-hilt, coffin handle, just my brain can't comprehend, and I need to go and organize $1,500 and go on his bloody integral course and see how he achieves such masterful blades, really.
Yeah, man, when I see his stuff, I just get fucking depressed. Seriously.
Just throw your tools down, go have a beer. Yeah.
But I think I know what the working end of a file is, right? But that guy, dude. And if you look at all these stuff,
your files are like your files are like Boxburg prostitutes compared to his, man. Rough.
I like that.
You know that
Right, guys,
there's a lot of people in Boxburg that are not happy with you now. You're not selling in Boxburg today, Stu.
Okay, so
synthetics are the best thing to ship. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you are doing woods, high-end bills. Don't buy for the cheapest bill. Buy the most expensive.
Also stabilized. Everything must be stabilized if you want to ship it. Yeah.
Stabilized bills. So you want a piece of wood that is now plastic but was wood in its previous life. That's what you want. It's easier.
Yeah.
Okay. And best handle material, I can tell you what handle material you should not be using is giraffe bone, any type of ivory, and African blackwood. Stay away from those three categories.
Yeah, they'll give you issues if you want to ship. Yeah. All right. Is that it?
Hold on, there's another one. Question: Can
one
still be competitive in the national market without a CNC?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gee whiz, man. Niels, myself, Jan. I don't know about Alan. I think he still makes knives.
Yeah. Well, if I look at his hair, he's probably doing more surfing than making knives. But
I know.
I wanted to still climb into him. I mean, he was a very corporate dude sitting up here. Then all of a sudden, next moment we hear he's fucking off down to Cape Town, where the sea and the mountain and the wind is. And then what do we see on social media? All of a sudden, he's turned into a hippie, and then nothing about knives. The next moment, he's fucking building a tent. I initially thought his wife would disappoint him, and then he's got this whole fucking thing about a party, and he's moving into the shed, and then there's fucking knife machines, but I'm yet to see a knife coming out of that shed.
Hey, good question. Yes.
And then he's sitting on a live chat with us, all right? Yeah, dude, that's something you made up here, and you just took it down and you put a bolster on.
It's someone else's knife. I'm just watching. What do you think of Alex knife?
At the ass end of the thing, he pulls out a knife, but had 4 or 5 sips of wine.
You go down to
I am completely still corporate. This look works for what I do now, you know, for
lockdown,
protecting the back of my neck when I'm walking around in sunny Cape.
But Alan, you know why Cape Town is called the Mother City?
No,
why is it?
Because everything down there takes fucking 9 months to happen. So now you only get to make half knives a year, buddy, and it's good.
2 knives and a sword.
Right, man. Craig, buddy, I think you might want to upgrade your files, yeah? And no sticking your files in ferric chloride and trying to get the last fucking ditch, whatever life out of it. Just go and buy new files, man. You don't have to buy the Swiss Orb top of the range. It's just the cheapest ass file that you can buy is going to be sharper than your 400-year-old files that you currently have. And that's where I'm at. I've got an extremely large selection of files, and I think from the odd 50 that's on the wall back there, there might be 3 that are still usable. So now my files have become a display piece.
Yeah, I've got about 40 files. I think I used 3 of them.
Rihanna's asking you, Alan, have you got shoes on?
Show us the feet. Show us the feet.
Yeah, I don't even have underpants on, man.
Be the first on a Blade Talk session. You want to check the calluses?
It's either that or he's wearing flip-flops.
I'll give you a full screen, right?
And he's not showing us because it's true.
No, we're not. We're not.
Nope.
We're not showing. Leave it a mystery.
Not going there.
Ben, apparently Alan's shoes is not up.
No, he won't show us his hairy hobbit feet.
That's going to be the subject of my next Instagram post. Rian's interest in my feet, man. Rian, I got you. I'll answer the question.
So I'm going to leave you guys with one final thought or a story, right, from each of you. It's either a positive or a negative. I don't particularly care, but it has to be fucking funny. Yeah. What is the coolest or the worst thing that you have seen online in the last 48 hours?
48 hours? What, right now?
Yeah.
Or
so
can we answer tomorrow?
Okay, let's do. In the last week, what is the coolest thing you've seen? Or the worst thing that you've seen?
Ask me.
Okay,
Alan, what did you see?
let me ask Alan.
2 days ago, Pentagon released actual video footage of UFOs from 2007. And in this day and age, no one else actually gives a damn. Like, so what, the UFOs, but we're dealing with other problems at the moment. I thought that was just
Is this the one that the UFO is flying over the moon surface?
No.
Not that one. This is another one.
2 days ago, it's a confidential videotapes that Pentagon released on actual UFOs. But
Is this?
look at it.
Are these photographs taken with the specific, the very fuzzy cameras they used to take pictures of Bigfoot?
It's a special camera.
True. This is true.
Yeah,
this is not
UFOs always out of focus. Doesn't matter. We've got 4K cameras. Nope, UFO's got to be out of focus. Guy was off duty. He couldn't push the little button in the middle that said "focus on the UFO."
When the Pentagon said we're releasing video footage of UFOs, you've got to pay attention, man. Handle material. Can you imagine the knife material in that thing? What happens if that thing?
But dude, you're not in Cape Town.
Bombs
Are you
down on
sure?
the
Cape Town, yeah,
beach? I'll be able to coming for pins and.
But don't you know UFOs only ever visit America?
My wife is here.
No,
Why we
I
haven't
saw
shut
one
up?
2 days.
All right, Stu, what's your thing, man? What did you see?
I don't know. I woke up early one morning. That's about the strangest thing that ever happened to me. So, yeah, I'm going to need longer to think about it than what we have now.
All right, Jan.
The strangest thing I've seen was Niels phoning me yesterday. I think that's the strangest thing.
You make a valid point. That's got to win. More weirder than UFOs. Niels phoning somebody.
Oh, yeah.
But Alan, dude, on yours, I actually saw a post of a new sarcophagus that was discovered in Egypt. And there was one chick that commented and said, "Put it back. Now is not the time." We're dealing with that.
Nope. Don't read from the Book of the Dead.
If you've done anything naughty in the last 20 years, this is when you should let people know about it, because no one's paying attention anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen, thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk a bit of crap with me. Shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
For everyone that don't know, go and follow Jan Wahl and Alan Mitchell on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can literally
don't
use
follow me.
their name. Okay? Don't follow Stuart Smith, because you need to follow Smith Hand Forge Knives. And me, well, just hit on subscribe, right? And that's it. I promise I will at least offend one person per day for the next 365 days. You want to stick around for that? Yeah. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to say, well, let's get the fuck out of here, and there will be at least one person that'll be offended with my language. Yeah? All right. Please comment if that offended you, because I would really want to take that further and even offend you even more. All right. So that was it. From the Bearded Bastards. That's all of you guys, not me. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me.
Are those your pubes?
Yeah. I'm referring to the royal we. Right?
The royal we.
Right, man.
Okay.
Guys, we're out of here. In 5,
Cheers.
4, goodbyes.
Cheers,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you for joining us.